Hello, welcome back to another Uncle Tat's Creative Shack video. In today's video, we're going to talk about storage ideas for Legos. And as you can see here, I've got a small selection of different ideas to store Legos in. If you're like me and you have tons and tons of Legos, how do you know what pieces you have and what colors they're in and how many of the pieces are they? So many Lego people out there use dozens and dozens and dozens of types of storage compartments for the pieces. Some separate them by the type of piece it is. Some separate them only by color. So I've got a few examples here I'd like to share with you. And we'll start off with this one here. This is I picked this storage container up at Home Depot, and I think it was probably about $5. Not that expensive at all. And we'll pop the top off of it here. Very, very strong connections. Well, that's good. So these containers allow you to, move the dividers wherever you'd like to create larger spaces or smaller spaces. I've got mine here separated out by basically scenery pieces, flower pieces, grass pieces, leaf pieces. And you ask, well, how did you get so many of these to begin with? Geez, that's crazy. Well, if you go to Lego stores, the actual store that you can visit in the mall, they have things called the Pick-a-Brick wall, and you're able to fill up a cup for, a certain price, and it doesn't matter how many pieces you put in. It's however much you can fit into that cup. So oftentimes they will have, just these pieces on the wall, and you can fill up a large cup for about $15, and whatever you can fit in that cup, is yours. So you can end up accumulating a ton of pieces simply because hey, you're paying $15 for the cup. Get as much as you can, fill that cup up. So that's why we end up having to buy storage containers. So that's one style or one type. This one here, actually, my girlfriend gave me this one. She got this, I believe, she said, Michaels, and it would be used for, beads or, jewelry making. In this case, I don't know if I want to tip it up, so I'm going to actually just move the whole camera. In this case, I'm using it to separate 1x1s. So just tiny 1x1 plate. And I've got them in, various colors. So I've kind of sorted mine out. You got your whites, your light tan, your nougat color, your brown, grays. These ones here are actually a silver. They look similar to this one over here, which is dark bluish gray, but they're actually silver. You got your blacks, you got some greens in here, and also have what Lego calls a cheese wedge piece. Okay, that's in green. So I mixed some of the different types in there because after a while, you'll run out of different compartments. So what I did want to try to do with this, though, is to separate the square ones from the round ones, because as you can see, there's tons of round ones in there. I wouldn't be able to fit those in there anyways. And if you're searching for one style of piece, you don't want to be, buried trying to find a square or a round piece or whatever. In this middle section, and this is just for now, I've got just small pieces that, this one here is a printed tile. We've got some handcuffs. That's actually a carrot piece, which actually can go into my other container that I used, that I showed you at first. Over here, I've taken it another step further where these particular studs have holes in the middle of them. And that's actually useful for putting in, a bar-shaped piece. You could put a piece like, see if I can actually even get one out of here. Let's see, here we go. So this type of horn, you can actually take one of these studs, and if you can do it with one hand while holding the camera with the other, you're amazing. Okay, and there you go. Now you've created another texture by using a stud with a hole in the middle and a bar. And of course, oops, over here we have, this is a printed 1x1 tile, it's supposed to represent a piece of Post-it note pad from a set. So I wanted to keep that separate. This is a gem. Keep that separate. You can go ahead and put those in there just for now. And then over here, simply because at the time this is how I was sorting it. I do have the flowers right here. These are the blue and red. These over here are, dozens of more colors. So I kind of separated all those out. And just have them in there, the browns and magentas and violets. Over here we have, white 1x1 studs, because over here there's all the round plates. I got no more room for them. It's buried. And this is only a snapshot of my collection. I have more other places. Like I said, you go to Lego at the mall, and this is just a 1x1 trans red plate. Well, when you buy your cup, the cup has, grooves in the bottom of them that you could fill up with smaller pieces. And I don't have a cup readily available. Actually, I do. Let me put this right here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Oops. I will put this right here, and I'm going to get a cup and show you what you get. Okay. Oops, sorry about that. And we'll get this out of the way. And these are actually more storage ideas too. You can leave them in the cup you bought them in. So, let's slide these over so you can get a better view of them. Maybe I'll zoom this out. Can I zoom it out? Yeah, okay. These are the large Lego cups. A little schmeg on that side. And for $15, you get this cup, and anything on the Pick-a-Brick wall you can find, you can shove it in here, all for the same price. So as you can see, I'm going to zoom in. Now these are when I first went to a very first Lego store. I mean, I was excited. I was like, oh my God. I was shoving them with as much stuff as I could fit in there, whether I needed it or not, because I was just so excited. So I'll go ahead and take the top off and I'll show you. So these are, I want to be very careful with this. It took a while to get them in there. These, I'll just take a couple off here at the top, are nothing more than a 1x1 round plate. And as you can see, the column goes all the way down. It's just insane. I will never ever need round 1x1 orange plates. The cup goes all the way around. You can see I've got, these are 1x1s. These are 1x1s, bricks. Okay. You got your little angles there. But this whole cup, this is filled to the brim with Lego, was $15. So it's kind of hard to pass it up. But what I'm talking about the bottom, is as you can see, if I flip this cup over and you can see the bottom. See how the bottom has a ring that goes around it? But then there's a recess in here. The recess also acts as a way to stack the cups. So you can go ahead and, here's a smaller cup. And you can stack the cups on top of each other. This one currently looks a little yucky. I use this one. I've got some rubbing alcohol in this one. I use it for stripping, for cleaning my airbrush after I paint. So you can use them for other things besides Lego. There you go. So when you get the cup, okay, you may say, well, why don't you want to get the big pieces? The big pieces, that's, you're going to get more for your money. You might, it depends what you need, but what's always going to happen is you're always going to have this rim. And I try to fill the rim up with the small pieces. Let me try to get some more light on that subject so I can show you what I'm talking about. And there, that's a little bit better. I don't need any of these pieces right now for a current build, but I'm using them for decoration. It's strange enough as it sounds. You can put those up on I had them up on a shelf here in my living room. Let me zoom back out again. This one here, I didn't do the patterning at the Lego store. I kind of just went there and grabbed everything, and when I came home, I dumped it all out to see what I had, and then when I was putting it back in the cup, I separated it by colors. Not by piece, but by color. So there's dozens of You know, these are purple 1x2 tiles with pink 1x2 tiles with black 1x2. I think those are tiles, but I think those are like slope tiles. Pop the top off of this one. What do we have here? We've got like the... Now, when I was a kid, I used to call these guns because you'd get these with your space sets. But Lego doesn't like guns in their terminology, so they're calling these like handlebar pieces. Whatever. So I got, you know, all those. These are white 1x4 sloped pieces with a cutout in the middle. Another storage idea, though, totally. So you can use the cup. You can separate the cups by, you know, actual part if you wanted to. All gray parts, all red parts, all yellow parts. You can always separate them out. And again, you can stack them on top of each other. And then there's your bottom. So you always want to try to get pieces to go up inside that lip. And the best types of pieces to do that with are the round 1x1s, because they'll fit in there perfectly. And you'd hate to put in a bunch of blocks, you know, that only stop right about here where the indent goes up to, and then not have anything in this space under here. You see what I'm talking about? That would be a lot of extra space that you could put tons of extra bricks into. So that's how I did those. Get those ones off to the side. And last, we'll just talk about just another one. This is a tackle box made by Plano. Tackle boxes are great. You can find them at Walmart. They're fairly cheap. And again, you can separate out your pieces. These happen to be leaf pieces. Some more like vine pieces. And then sometimes I go ahead and I put in these types of pieces that I would also use for scenery that's not necessarily a leaf or a piece of grass. It's actually like a rock piece. So I'll go ahead and have a compartment for those so that when you get ready to build your terrain, you will have some colors that already go along with that. So these, you can find these at Walmart. You can find them at Home Depot. Home Depot is actually where I bought this one. And I forget the name of it. I think this one is Husky. It's got like the outline of a husky there and sort of a husky emblem there. I think it was Husky. Under $5 each, I think, for those ones. Really cheap. I'm not sure how much this one was, but if you go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby, both those places always have coupons. You can get, you know, one item for 40% off or whatever. It's best to buy these and take that advantage because these get a little bit more pricey with all these compartments in here, and you know, they're all equally divided. There is no there's no option like in these ones to move the pieces around or move the dividers around as you want. This is you know, manufactured this way, so it might cost a little bit more money with the more compartments, but it's the best way I know to separate pieces, because then when you go to look, you know, when next time I go back to Lego, obviously I'm going to know, hey, don't buy any of these. You've got tons of them. If I'm working on a build and I think, geez, I need to have a 1x1 piece, I highly recommend doing this. Rather than pouring all pieces into like a giant Rubbermaid container, you'll never find the pieces that you need. With that, you can also do what I like doing. Is I've got this cup. I'm going to go ahead and show you that one by itself. I'll put these off to the side. This particular Lego cup here, I got at the very first Lego store I went to. I think these ones over here was like the second time I went or something. I was still excited about them, but it wasn't the first time. I think the very first time was this one here. And in this cup, and I'll go ahead and show you, I got a bunch of extra pieces here from the Snoke's Throne Room set I just reviewed. It's got writing all over this. The person that worked behind the counter said she wanted to just write all over it, so you know she's got it all different writing all over it and whatnot. Pop the top off it. All this are pieces that are spares, extras when you buy a Lego set. These pieces here are all from Snoke's throne room. I just dump them in there, and it's a neat little thing to do. Is to save all your pieces that you get as spares in your Lego sets. There's, you know, one of these days I want to do it is just dump it all out and just kind of like see what I got. But for right now, it's kind of like anytime you get, you know, a blind bag minifigure, you know, you'll get a little piece from them. You know, you're always getting an extra 1x1. Pretty much any set you get, you're always going to get a 1x1 extra in there. Wheels. Oh, these are actually wheels. Those are common when you get a car set, and sometimes you'll get like 2 different wheel options, and you're only going to pick one, obviously. So you have the extras here, which technically speaking aren't spare parts. They're just extras for the set, but I throw them in there anyways. What else do we got? There's a little cylinder piece. So yeah, this whole cup is just filled with extra Lego. Okay, but anyway, storage ideas. So yes, I always put the extras ones in here. It's exciting to actually see. I mean, one of these days I'm going to fill it up to the top of nothing but spare pieces. And yeah, so anyways, storage ideas. Thanks for watching. I hope this helped you guys out and having some creativity for storing your pieces. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.